So you just found out that you're PCSing to NAS Whidbey Island in Washington State. And right about now, you're probably wondering, what exactly did I get myself into? Is it a paradise or is it just a whole lot of Pacific Northwest rain? And is the coffee really that good in Washington? It is. And what's life actually like once you get there? Well, hey friends, I am Leah Courage, a local real estate broker here in Oak Harbor, serving the beautiful North Puget Sound in Western Washington. And on this channel, we talk about all things relocation, real estate, and lifestyle around Oak Harbor, Anacortes, Whidbey Island, and beyond. And today I am giving you the full, honest, real-life guide to what it's actually like to PCS to NAS Whidbey Island. We're going to walk through what you can expect both on and off base, how the housing works, what kind of support services you'll find, and what life in Oak Harbor is really like, and how to make the absolute most of your time stationed here, even if it starts off a little gray. So if you're moving to NAS Whidbey or you're just in research mode, you are in the right place. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on those notifications so that you don't miss out on any of our insider info about life in the North Puget Sound. So let's dive in. All right, so first things first. NAS Whidbey Island is actually made up of two main parts, Alt Field and the Seaplane Base. Alt Field is where most of the flight operations happen, and this is where you'll hear and see those loud, proud growlers taking off and landing. And if you're working in aviation or operations, this is probably where you'll be stationed. The Seaplane Base is a little more low-key. It's located about 10 minutes away, and it's home to more of the administrative side of things. You'll also find a good chunk of the on-base housing there, along with the commissary, Navy Exchange, medical facilities, and a bunch of the base's family support services. If you're brand new, the gates can be a little confusing, so make sure to ask about which one you should use, especially if you need to register privately owned weapons. You'll want to go through Torpedo Gate for that one. Now, let's talk about housing, because this is a huge part of your PCS. You'll find different neighborhoods with different vibes. Mailer Point and Forbes Point have those beautiful water views and feel a little more tucked away and quiet. Victory Terrace is one of the newer communities and tends to attract families looking for more of a traditional neighborhood feel. If you're a single sailor, E4 or below, you'll be assigned to unaccompanied housing, and you'll want to check in with the Housing Services Center right away when you arrive. They'll walk you through all your options and help you with the process. Now, let's talk about base life and essential services. The commissary and the Navy Exchange are both located over on the Seaplane Base, and they'll likely become your go-to for groceries and basic supplies. Just note that they aren't open too late, so plan your shopping accordingly. The Naval Hospital on the base is important to understand. It's a clinic, not a full-service hospital. So that means there's no emergency room and no urgent care available there. If you need specialty services or more advanced care, you'll usually be referred off-island to Bremerton, JBLM, or even to Seattle. So it's something to be aware of when you're planning your family's medical needs. The Fleet and Family Support Center is an absolute gem. They offer relocation assistance, financial counseling, job search help for spouses, parenting classes, and all kinds of support. And for recreation, honestly, the base does a great job. The Convergence Zone is a fun spot for bowling, hanging out, and renting gear. There's an indoor playground for the kids and plenty of spaces to just unwind. The Whidbey Fitness Center is your go-to gym on base, and while NAS Whidbey doesn't have its own pool, they do partner with local facilities in Oak Harbor and Anacortes, so you'll still have access. Outdoor Rec is one of the best kept secrets, by the way. You can rent kayaks, paddle boards, tents, and all kinds of other gear. They offer organized trips also, everything from whitewater rafting all the way to hiking and skiing, all accessible in ultra outdoorsy Washington State, of course. And if you're single and living on base, check out the Liberty Northwest Center. They do everything from movie night to weekend getaways. There are also childcare programs, youth centers, summer camps, and on-base educational resources. But childcare can be competitive, so it's important to get on wait lists early. And finally, what's the vibe like on base? Well, honestly, it's pretty tight-knit. People look out for each other, the jets are loud, you'll hear them often, but most families end up getting used to the sound, and some even find it comforting or, like me, super exciting. It's the sound of your community in action. All right, quick pause. If this has been helpful so far, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up and drop a comment if you're PCSing to NAS Whidbey soon, or if you've already been stationed here and you want to share your experience, I would love to hear about it. It really helps others in the same boat, so thank you. Now, back to the show. Now let's talk about life off base, because chances are you'll end up spending a lot of your time in Oak Harbor. Oak Harbor is the largest town on Whidbey Island and has a classic small town feel. It's about 20,000 people, it's laid back, slower paced, and friendly, but it's also got a surprising number of conveniences. You'll find big box stores like Walmart, Safeway, and Home Depot, and there's some great local coffee shops, breweries, and restaurants also. If you're planning to rent off base, you'll want to budget around $2,000 to $3,000 a month for a 3-bedroom home, depending on location and condition, of course. Always make sure that your lease has a military clause, and yes, renter's insurance is usually required. The commute into base from most parts of Oak Harbor is usually short and sweet, under 15 minutes or so, but summer tourist traffic can cause backups, especially along State Route 20. If you're thinking about commuting from other towns like Anacortes or Coupeville, the drive is longer, but the scenery is absolutely beautiful. Anacortes is about a 30-minute drive to the north, and it feels more like a mainland city with better shopping, more restaurants, and a little more hustle. Plus, there's a back gate to the seaplane base coming from Anacortes that's super convenient. Coupeville, on the other hand, is smaller and it's more scenic. You might recognize the downtown from the 90s movie Practical Magic. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's super cute. It's got historic charm, beautiful beaches, and ultra cute shopping and dining downtown. Bear in mind, though, that Coupeville does tend to get a bit touristy in the summertime. Both Anacortes and Coupeville are great options also, depending on the lifestyle that you're looking for. As for schools, Oak Harbor has its own school district and Coupeville does too. Each have its strengths, and there's a school liaison officer available to help you navigate enrollment, transitions, and any special education needs as well. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, because Whidbey Island is an outdoor lover's dream. First, you've got to visit Deception Pass State Park. It's probably one of the most beautiful places in the entire state. The bridge, the beaches, the forests, it's absolutely stunning. Fort Casey and Fort Eby to the south are also amazing for hiking, biking, picnicking, and exploring old bunkers with the kids. The natural beauty on Whidbey Island is something that you'll simply never get tired of. If you're into winter sports, the mountains are only a few hours away. You can spend the day skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing, or cross-country skiing at Mount Baker, Stevens Pass, or Snoqualmie Pass, and even get home in time for supper. Now back to Oak Harbor. There's also a strong sense of local culture in this town. Holland Happening Festival is a big annual event celebrating the island's Dutch heritage. There are 4th of July parades and celebrations downtown, farmers markets in several towns close by, and plenty of little festivals, brewery nights, and community gatherings. One of my personal favorites is the Oak Harbor Music Festival, which takes place every August on Pioneer Way downtown. The Pacific Northwest Naval Air Museum is a really fun stop, especially if you're into aviation history. And for foodies, there are some incredible seafood spots, artisan bakeries, and local wineries and distilleries in both Oak Harbor and around Whidbey Island. For weekend adventures, you're in a prime location. You can head down south and hop on a ferry to Seattle and explore Pike Place Market, the Space Needle, or the museums down there. You can head out to the San Juan Islands or get up to the Olympic or Cascade Mountains for, like I said, hiking or skiing. And if you have a passport, Canada is not that far. Just keep the border hours and wait times in mind. Now, let's talk frankly for a second, because there are a few challenges that come with living here. First off, the weather. It rains throughout the fall, winter, and spring. We can have long gray streaks, and sometimes it feels like it never ends. But if you dress for it and you invest in a good raincoat, waterproof boots, and maybe a sun lamp for those darker months, you will be just fine. The upside to all that, however, is that it keeps this area green and lush, and the climate is super temperate. Winter temperatures hover in the 40s and 50s during the day, and our beautiful summers are typically in the 70s and 80s with low humidity. Another challenge is spouse employment. There just aren't as many job opportunities on the island, especially in specialized fields. Remote work can definitely be a lifesaver. Medical care, like I mentioned before, can require off-island visits for specialists, and during peak tourist season, the roads and ferries can get a little frustrating. So if you're PCSing here, here's what I'd recommend. First, request a sponsor. They can help guide you through the arrival process and answer all those tiny questions that can drive you absolutely nuts. Use every resource available: fleet and family support, military one source, Plan My Move. They're all there for a reason, and they're actually helpful. Next, get connected with your community. There are great Facebook groups, command spouse clubs, and local meetups that make a huge difference in feeling at home. And be prepared also for a slightly higher cost of living. Things like utilities and groceries can definitely be a bit more expensive than you might expect here in Western Washington. Finally, and most importantly, in my opinion, get out and explore early and often. The more you lean into everything that this place has to offer, the more you'll fall in love with it. So yes, Whidbey Island might not be what you expected, but in the best way. Between the incredible outdoor lifestyle, tight-knit community, and the chance to slow down and really enjoy where you live, there's something really special here if you're willing to embrace it. If you've got PCS tips or questions, drop them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video about life in Oak Harbor and the North Puget Sound. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this information, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so that you never miss a new video about life in Oak Harbor, Anacortes, and the whole of the North Puget Sound. And if you're planning on buying or selling a home on Whidbey Island, we would love to work with you. Our contact information is below, and we would truly be honored to help you make your next move with confidence. Thank you again for watching. Keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next video.